Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. I woke up very excited today. I'm pretty sure you can tell. There's a lot of energy flowing through me, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. Bitcoin showed early signs of decoupling from Wall Street after surging to 11,820 US dollars, while the US stock indexes plummeted or slumped yesterday. Bitcoin finally made a move in the past 24 hours and surged to a new 7-week high of over 11,800 US dollars. Interestingly, Bitcoin's price increase contrasted with the US stock markets, as the three most prominent indexes closed yesterday's trading session with serious losses. Crypto Potato reported yesterday that Bitcoin had remained relatively calm in the past several days despite recent negative news. The most popular digital asset exchange, OKEX, suspended with thank the heavens that things remained calm and or slightly logical, because once again, Bitcoin is not OKEX. We used to get, I remember around like 2015, 2016, there used to be news that there was an exchange that, I mean, if it was hacked for like $38, or remember the time when Coinbase and Binance used to go down because they were doing like updates and stuff like that? I think one time Coinbase said that they were going to be doing an update and it would last for about 12 hours. I think it lasted 16 hours and Bitcoin's price dropped. People were like, okay, that's it. Well, you know, the exchange has been hacked. You know, we've all been scammed and the money's gone. And I was like, maybe they're just doing some extra stuff. People used to panic so much and the price used to actually completely dramatically drop. So, I mean, we saw a little drop before the other day, but thank the goodness prices have gone back up because, you know, logic. However, the primary cryptocurrency tends to prove people wrong, and that's precisely what transpired yesterday. Bitcoin traded around 11,400, but initially initiated an impressive leg up that resulted in a 3.7% increase to 11,820. This was the highest price level Bitcoin has seen since early September. Depending on the week, depending on the day, depending on the 10-day stretch in between, we either get news that Bitcoin is coupled with the stock market and therefore monkey see, monkey do, or we get news that Bitcoin has decoupled from the stock market and we are about to do our own thing. Once again, this is now day 8, day 9, that we are seeing that a lot of people, I don't have all the other articles here because it just seemed completely redundant at this point. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says Tone Vase says Bitcoin appears ready for a big breakout as crypto analysts plot Ethereum and XRP trajectories. A lot of people all across the board, and even more so, I think also Tone Vase is probably a very big one as well. Not because he's a major figurehead in the cryptocurrency space. I think Tone Vase is usually the person. Bitcoin goes up by 8% and he goes on the Twitter in a panic sweat talking about how it's overbought and the price has to drop back down. I'm very certain it's Mr. Tone Vase. Anyway, prices are going up. They're not like super up. A lot of altcoins are actually quite down at the moment. I think this usually happens, just guesstimating, that it basically has to do with all the attention focuses on Bitcoin to see where Bitcoin is going to go. You can no longer have the argument that other coins are decoupled from Bitcoin because they can go up for a couple days by themselves based off of hype. And then eventually, if Bitcoin starts dropping down, they also slam back down as well. So the name of the game, once again, and still is going to be probably forever, is Bitcoin. So we need Bitcoin right now to do what it does best. Look at the current world situation all around the planet, not just within one country, and really go, you know what, it's time for me to go up to $15 bajillion because this is what I'm worth. Anyway, enough of the nonsense. Everyone across the board, I did not see any negative price news. I think the only air quotes negative things that I saw were saying that Ethereum appears like it could be aiming for, I think, 340 or 320 once again. And I saw, I think, one or two things talking about that XRP looks like it could be trying to aim for 30 cents. And without further ado, that's all the price news, and let us move on. Next up, Switzerland's Federal Department of Finance has been holding meetings for a blanket ordinance in the blockchain and distributed ledger technology space. The discussion will take place amid cantons, parties, Imagine having a party talking about money and other affected groups in the area. It is planned to last for over 3 months, ending on the 2nd of February in 2021. This is a part of the Swiss government's plan to boost blockchain and cryptocurrency. The discourse to improve the regulations for the blockchain and cryptocurrency field come a month after the Swiss government included blockchain technology in financial laws. The changes to the laws have positioned Switzerland to further blockchain and decentralized ledger technology, what have you. The blockchain ordinance will enable the Swiss government to include these modifications in regulations at the federal ordinance level, and the Federal Council intends to enact these laws beginning in August 2021. Switzerland has been a major place for the blockchain world, if you kind of want to say that. They have Zug, which is known as like Blockchain Valley or whatever stupid name they gave to that place. They've been fairly friendly with all of this, even as far as us seeing the creation of Libra and the Libra Foundation within their borders. I think they know what's going on. I assume, this is an assumption, I'm not Swiss, I don't live in Swissland. I'm going to assume that the government knows how to make money. They've been doing it for quite a long amount of time, so they probably have got it. They see where all this is going. If you are friendly to other people, they will be friendly to you and bring money to your country and to your economy. I think Switzerland is probably going to be one of the main places when it comes to cryptocurrency adoption. I don't know if I told you months ago when I saw this, it wasn't even a documentary. It was like this guy who they were kind of talking to. I think he got very lucky. I think in 2011, 10, somewhere very early on, he said he had a couple $1,000 Swiss francs, threw them into the market, and I think he has like 10, 20,000 Bitcoin or something like that because the price was absolutely nothing. And since then, he's made all these different companies and he's invested in real estate, of course, yada, yada, yada. But he's made a very big name for himself in that space. So they're fairly friendly. A lot of people I've heard talk before of people talking about moving to Switzerland as a very crypto-friendly place. Anyway, the point is, yes, many countries around the world are either discussing the creation of a central bank digital currency right now because it's all the trend and everybody's trying to be ahead of the trend. And also at the same exact time, the creation of these laws will bring money to your borders. If you don't have these laws or you don't have this framework, why would anybody go to your borders? Anyway, so I assume Switzerland will do very well because, money. I was going to say logic, but money is, these people are rich. Of course, they know how to bring money to their borders. Anyway, let's move on. And actually, slightly surprising, very popular news. Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, has announced that it will soon be closing down its Binance Jersey subsidiary. Binance launched its platform in Jersey as part of its expansion drive to tap into the European markets. On the 15th of January 2019, the exchange announced that Binance Jersey would allow fiat to cryptocurrency trading for European traders. At launch, the exchange supported Bitcoin and Ether, trading against euros and the British pound, while the exchange aimed to make Binance Jersey a major driving force in European markets. The markets that showed that it fell not even short of its goals. You'll see. According to the latest CoinMarketCap data, Binance Jersey, over the last 24 hours, had a trading volume of 164,000 euros. Let's say roughly 170,000 US dollars. 24 hours, 170,000. Not million, definitely not billions. And Bitcoin to the Great British Pound was around, it says $76,000 and $46,000 respectively. Binance Coin, the native token of the Binance ecosystem, had a combined, Binance Coin over the course of a 24-hour period had only a trading volume of $5,000. Quite popular news. I'm not sure if it's Schadenfreude. I'm not sure if people are excited because this new venture from Binance was shutting down. But to be fair, I haven't heard anyone talking about this. I think around the same exact time when they were launching all of these other fiat options, I think many other cryptocurrency exchanges either came to birth, I don't know what word to use, and they were also allowing people to also finally trade in fiat as well. So Binance was the first, but if any of the other ones had another leg up in the area, I wonder what the numbers are like for Binance US as well. And I say that only because a lot of times if I mention something in a video, I see people asking in the comment section, where can I do so and so within the United States? And some people say, well, you can use Binance US, and people are like, I either get the, oh, I didn't know that was a thing, or I see a lot of, I'm in a state that it's not accessible. So I wonder how popular that is as well. Anyway, yeah, if you happen to have money on Binance Jersey, I think it says, I think November. After suspending deposits, the exchange will allow trading and withdrawals of all pairs and currencies until the 9th of November. The platform's final shutdown is scheduled for the 30th of November, after which all user accounts will be inaccessible. And please understand that they do mean this. This has happened many other times before in the past. If there was a cryptocurrency exchange that was closing down, they give news about a good 7-8 weeks beforehand so that everyone knows and everyone is aware. What ends up happening is, of course, there's always not even that one person, about a good couple hundred people who haven't taken their money off the platform. And then they go, I'm going to sue because you're holding my money. And it's like, if you just had paid attention. The point is, if you're on Binance Jersey, take your money off, find a suitable place for you to put your money where you feel comfortable with it. Yeah, that's all the Binance Jersey news, as they are going to be shutting down. That's an extremely low volume. That means like people either didn't know about it or just didn't care about it. I just honesty. And without further ado, let's move on. In mega ultra super crazy hypey news, a release candidate has been published for phase 0 of Ethereum 2.0, though Mandala still needs more participation. Ethereum 2.0 developer Ben Edgington recently posted an update to highlight the latest news from Beacon Chain testing and development. The primary update was the publishing of version 1, release candidate 0, for Beacon Chain, which contains a number of improvements and configuration tweaks that are detailed in the post here. He said it right here. Additionally, there are upgrades to the Bonlin Shamam, or BLS signature scheme, and hardened denial of service attack resistance. The deposit contract is good to go. He added, with Beacon Chain Genesis coming 6 to 8 weeks later. This is still an estimate, however, and there has been no official launch date announcement. Edgington warned, after depositing to fake contracts, many of which are expected to in the run-up to the real thing. He said many fake deposit contracts and launch pad front ends will erupt in the coming days. Look out for the official announcement. Do not send Ether to random contracts. This is not DeFi. The news that we have right now, which is of course quite popular, is this right here. 6 to 8 weeks. Apparently the Beacon chain, the Genesis chain, the beginning chain of Ethereum 2.0 is on its way. It says Ethereum 2.0 developers optimistic about deposit contract launch. Could it be that by November we will actually have the beginning of Ethereum 2.0? I don't know, but this is apparently what it's looking like. I'm going to tell everyone and myself. I think I need to focus on my own life and tell myself not to get too excited for this. This has been a very long time coming. The point is 6 to 8 weeks. Let's see if it actually ends up happening. I mean, logically, it's been about four years, so you know it should be time. But let's see what happens. The point is 6 to 8 weeks. Let's see if this goes through. And without further ado, let's move on. Next up, in super obvious news, I don't even know why this was news. The Bank of Russia has said a role in sidestepping economic sanctions would be to launch a ruble-backed central bank digital currency. Logic? Talking to Moscow-based newspaper Izvestia, the institution's press office said a digital ruble could help diminish the dependence of the Russian economy on the US dollar. This, in turn, could help mitigate the risk of foreign sanctions, which have been imposed on Russia by the US and the European Union in recent years. The most recent round of EU sanctions was imposed last week on several high-level public officials in Russia. Can't read those words, but apparently something happened. Logically, we all know this is true. We've spoke about this before. I don't think this is even... oh my gosh, wow, I would have never thought of that news. It is rather clear, at least to me, in my eyes, that there are many countries around the world who do not like being under the heel or the boot of another country. Just speaking kind of logically, you know, this makes a lot of sense. And the news that we've been getting before, that these countries were either creating their own central bank digital currencies, or all the news we were getting before is that allegedly, that they were gathering up and hoarding massive amounts of Bitcoin. None of this was substantiated as because, you know, allegedly, but it seems kind of logical that this would be happening. So the news that they actually said this out loud is actually quite incredible. That if we got this news, imagine like what the actual governments are getting. It's abundantly clear that many places around the world are a little tired of being under the stronghold of, and I was going to say one place, but it's also the EU as well, who's also trying to throw their weight around. Anyway, yeah, don't be surprised if in 5 to 10 years we hear that there's a little gang of countries, little mini gang, who have decided to leave the restrictions of the US dollar because they've either created their own central bank digital currency that's going to work amongst them, or they're simply going to be using a stable coin or even Bitcoin. All just seems logical. I think for me, news like this really gets me going is a weird phrase, but it's kind of something along that line. Like, we know that there are countries who are dedicated to trying to get away from the US dollar, and then for them to openly tell their newspaper to be like, yeah, we figured out a way to do it, and it's gonna be digital. Anyway, I find it significant. And without further ado, let's move on. I love news like this. I think it's very fascinating to hear the inner workings of governments like completely just laid out. In news, you'll see the newly launched Filecoin project is running into problems already, really, as miners pull their collective plugs over a token model that does not appear to be economically viable. Wow. The much hyped Filecoin data storage network launched late last week following a 3-year hiatus after its $250 million pre-sale and ICO. They made $250 million and then took 3 years to launch. A huge level of Chinese fear of missing out pushed token file prices over $60 at the weekend, but the dump has already been started and the project is being labeled as a Ponzi. Mining these new storage-based tokens requires a lot of expensive hardware due to the complexities of the blockchain. Additionally, miners need to stake tokens in order to collateralize their drive space, which is shared on the network. Love how difficult it is. This means that they also have to buy tokens before they mine them, which has brought the entire tokenomics model under the spotlight. According to reports citing Space Cloud chairman Lai Chuhang, miners had already powered down their pricey rigs in protest. He said the mainnet is online and all the miners are stopped there. It is really not a so-called demonstration. It is helpless. Do mortgage mining. Stupid economic model. Sorry. Do mortgage mining. Stupid economic model. End quote. A Twitter account called Nico Deva broke down the model using examples of earnings and expenses in a tweet that has been widely shared across social media in the crypto space. He said Filecoin has transitioned from calibration net to mainnet at block 148,000 after a $200 million ICO and a 3 years of development. Within 24 hours of launch, a majority of the miners are already on strike and talking about a failed wedding and forks. Why? As you might imagine, this is very popular news. I am not going to say I told you so. I'm going to say, wow, this is so surprising. I did not see this coming. It's a huge red flag when it takes anyone or anything 3 years to launch. What Filecoin does is not revolutionary. In the beginning, when they announced what they were going to be creating at the beginning of 2017, it was like, wow, I never thought of something like that. But then immediately after, multiple other coins came out with the same exact model, a file sharing storage blockchain space for all your needs. where you need the coins to be able to do something on the network. Does that sound familiar? Yes, it does, because every other coin is doing the exact same thing. You need their coin for something on the network, to build on the network, to write on the network, to create on the network. It's the same exact thing. Same thing with when it comes to file storage and or storage of programs or whatever. You can do that on basically nearly every single platform right now. This is why we had news before that all the companies and all the countries were storing their laws and stuff like that on top of Ethereum. Where have I heard of something like that before? Sounds just like Filecoin. The point is, as it stands right now, you can even read this one, very complex Filecoin in trouble as miners go on strike 24 hours after launch. I don't assume that this is going to be fixed anytime soon. And even if it is fixed, we saw before, what was the other one? Was it Uniswap or was it SushiSwap? I even feel stupid saying that out loud. One of them had a problem with their launch, and then 24 hours later, they were like, we relaunch, and it's 3.0 right now, and no one uses it anymore because it's complete nonsense. The same exact thing is going to happen with, no one cares about Filecoin. I assume that any pump that happened had to probably do with investors who had waited for 3 years for this coin to finally come to light. They pumped the heck out of the coin and started taking their money out of the market once they had significantly made back returns that they were expecting to make at the end of 2017. Logic. Anyway, this is all over the place. Everyone's talking about it. I think a lot of people are also kind of shocked. Remember the news that we got? I don't know if I even showed you this news. I must have. It was something last week, and it was something along the lines of Filecoin to rival Polkadot and Ethereum in the future. There was also some other news story. I definitely don't have it in here. I'll try and see if I can show you in another video, where some company yesterday had added Filecoin as a payment option on their website, and I read through the article, and it was just complete, utter nonsense. It was something along the lines of, while Bitcoin and Ether are normally seen as a payment option within the cryptocurrency world, Habugala website, whatever it had a weird name, has added Filecoin as they see this to be the new future of payment within the cryptocurrency ecosystem. I'm like, Filecoin is meant for you to store your files on. Why would I be spending those coins to buy a new Maserati? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, the world just doesn't, there's no logic. I'm reaching out forward. You can't see my hand, but I'm reaching for something that's not there, and it's logic, and I'm hoping to grab onto it. As it stands right now, as always, please make sure that you know where you're putting your money. I try my darndest to guide everyone down the path of richness, if that makes any sense. These coins are garbage. These coins are not going to be used. There are other coins that do exactly what Filecoin does, and if they don't already, all it takes is an update or another layer that's going to be made by somebody else onto a more popular chain, and bada bing, bada boom, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then XRP all do the exact same thing without the need of $200 million and waiting 3 years. So just take that how you will. Wait, hold on. It's the 20th. I'm going to say by the 27th, next Tuesday, we're probably going to get news that they're either working on fixing this or that they're going to be releasing a new model for people to be able to try and mine easier to get people back onto their network. It's all garbage. Like, just garbage. And to finish things off in super popular news, because, you know, rich people also always make the news, there are many that say Bitcoin is poised to see rapid appreciation in years ahead, but many don't have much skin in the game. Investor and former Facebook team member Anthony Pompliano recently said that that is not the case with him. He said in a podcast that 80% of his net worth is concentrated just in Bitcoin. Longtime Bitcoin bull Anthony Pompliano made waves in 2019 with Kevin O'Leary on Squawk Box. He asserted that he's so bullish on Bitcoin that he has 50% of his net worth in Bitcoin. He did not disclose the exact dollar figure, of course, but such a large percentage allocation to Bitcoin is noticed. I don't think anywhere has said how much he's worth, but I'll give it a good 20 to 50 million US dollars is probably my assumption. O'Leary, a Canadian businessman known for his appearance on Shark Tank, said that he didn't think that was that was his idea or not a bright idea. I assume he didn't say that was his idea. That sounds kind of dumb. Per a recent podcast of Pompliano's, he has not heeded the warning of O'Leary. Imagine if you had heeded the warning of O'Leary and many other people in 2010 and just simply didn't get into Bitcoin. He has not only not reduced his exposure to Bitcoin. Why like the triple negative there? He has increased it. He said that now he has 80% of his assets in Bitcoin. The rest of the 20% is made up of real estate, cash, and early stage companies. This is why I said between 20 to 50 million. I assume when 20% of your portfolio is in real estate, it's probably not a $50,000 property. Most likely, many of these early stage investments are in cryptocurrency related companies, meaning his exposure to the space may be higher than 80% in general. Very popular news. Whenever Pompliano almost said something, whenever he coughs too loud, that's the word I'll use. People lose their minds and they go, wow, Pompliano said something about the cryptocurrency and therefore it has to be completely correct and true. 80% is a lot. That's not a lot. That's a huge portion of anything. Usually whenever we get people talking about like the asset allocation for Bitcoin, and I think the traditional market fund makers do this because this is what they've been taught to do. They usually say like have like a 1% allocation of something in your portfolio. But to be fair, mathematically, if you buy Bitcoin at 1,000 and it goes up to 11,000, it's no longer a 1% allocation because the price has completely skyrocketed. So I assume this is maybe just what happened to Pompliano. He probably got in very early. The price has risen and therefore it's now roughly 80% just in Bitcoin. Very popular news. Congratulations to him on his newfound rapid wealth. I assume if Bitcoin hits 40,000, whenever, we'll get news that 99% of his wealth is just in Bitcoin, and that'll also make headline news because people will go, he's crazy, that man's insane, he's so rich, what is he doing with all that Bitcoin? And then, it just kind of keeps on continuing from there. Anyway, yeah, I mean, this was all over the place. People not only love Pompliano, they love to hear Pompliano, I guess, say weird things or to talk about money. I'm not really sure what it is. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Tolek Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain Decentralized, Peter Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam, Graysick, Mohar Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight, Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller his chest every day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk Trainer Staff, Arfmedic17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigara Machanista. Cake sounds really good right now. On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola, and Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. And thank you to everyone out there who is a supporter of the channel in their own way. At the moment, Bitcoin is up by 2.4%. It is at 11,745 US dollars. We have had a lot of talk about Bitcoin shooting up in the next couple of days or in the near future, doing some exponentially crazy mathematical bull run, and it keeps getting echoed. That's why I said the whole thing with Tone Vase, because usually I'm pretty sure it's Tone Vase who keeps talking negative about the price of Bitcoin. Everything else is all over the place. The coins are trying to find their way, and many of them are completely lost right now. Another 1,000 new wrapped Bitcoin in the ecosystem. Nothing else too crazy. Dash is up by almost 12%, and there's been no Dash news. It must be something behind the scene that if you're like really in love with Dash, maybe there's an update coming. Maybe there's new privacy features. I can't really figure it out for the life of me. Filecoin tried to go up and is up by now 2.1%. Slowly going down, just like the rest of the cryptocurrency market. Quite fascinating. We'll see where this takes us, because I'm interested also to see if Bitcoin is going to skyrocket and go to these new highs that everyone has been talking about for quite some time. I do hope that you all enjoy. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.